So as important as it is to address our current clients and their needs, it's also just as important to address prospecting in this virtual world that we are now currently in. So let's talk a little bit about that and the don'ts and the do's of what we've come across through prospecting.
Yeah, sounds great.
So I know for myself, and I've heard this across the industry and just talking to a lot of people, that this has been a time of great anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. In many, many, many ways. But it's definitely for a business development manager, somebody that is prospecting and talking to those potential new clients, anxiety is high in the fact that you really want to, you're worried about how you're going to be perceived.
Yes.
You don't want to come across as insensitive or selfish or that you don't care what's going on. Mm-hmm. And what I think, unfortunately, that's done for some people is to just, I guess, stop prospecting, which what we've realized that's not what you should do.
Do you want to damage a potential lead that, could be a good fit next year just because of the situation now? Or do you just, hey, I'm not going to call them until next year because I'm worried?
And the thing is you can definitely help, those, if you have something that can help or make their company, their lives easier.
Yeah.
It's more beneficial to them and to everybody involved to still continue to have those conversations. There's still tons of needs out there regardless. So it is truly up to the business to decide whether or not they're in the position to purchase or to what they need. That's their decision. Mm-hmm. So it's not our decision to just not offer them what they potentially may need. It's their decision to decide that. So they may desperately need something that we are offering, and we just don't know that if we come to the point where we're kind of shying away from it because it's a sensitive topic right now.
Yeah.
So my advice is stay calm, cool, and collected.
Yes.
And like with our current clients, don't pretend that nothing is happening. It is happening. There is a lot going on, and we're not just going to pretend and shy away from that topic at all.
Exactly.
But there's just different ways to approach it.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, back on our current client situation and that relationship management, a lot of those topics or tools that we were discussing, they kind of transfer over to this too. It's different enough to where this is a completely separate approach or strategy, but you can still utilize some of those same methods, like don't pretend everything is normal. And as we discussed, our existing clients' needs have changed so much, so have all these prospects or, potential new business clients. Their needs are changing just as much as the ones you already have. So why would you not want to, reach out to them? Obviously, there's a correct way to go about doing this. And there's a way to, not go about doing it correctly.
Yes.
I don't know. So for the do's section here is, ask how your organization can give back to their organization. Like, what can you do for them? How can you market your information, your product, your services in a better way to potentially help these, people that you're reaching out to for the first time in this odd situation? And
Absolutely.
There's lots of ways to do that. Networking is huge right now.
I've had a lot of people, almost get to the point where how do you network in this situation? How do you network? And I'm just going to throw in a personal, I guess, experience that I had. And I was talking to was a potential prospect, and he said, you know what? It was emails going back and forth like normal. He said, let's just take a few minutes in the next day or something. Let's just network.
Yeah.
And it kind of took me back, but it was one of the most positive conversations that I have have had during this entire time. And it's one of those things where he reminded me, you never know what each interaction is going to bring you. It might not be that, oh my goodness, we're going to start working together tomorrow, but you don't know when you're talking to somebody what doors that's going to open. So keep doing that. Take advantage of sometimes what might be cold calls in the past to video chats, to network, to see how that person is navigating in this normal. What has their company been doing? Get to know these people in your industry and rely on them. And again, you don't know what that's going to open. So keep networking.
And step out of your comfort zone. If you're typically someone who shoots an email or a message on LinkedIn over to somebody, maybe try a forum. There's lots of industry organizations. They're easily searchable for whatever industry you may be a part of. See what people are saying on forums. See which forums are active. Hop on there, ask some questions, communicate, and add something to a conversation, and just network that way. Or continue to use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is booming.
Huge right now. Huge.
You can message people all day long. Sometimes you have too many messages, and you just give them a quick, sorry, I can't get back to you on this right now. I'll reach back out to you, but it's great to, connect with you or something.
I've definitely asked you numerous times how to, since you're the marketing guru here, how to best make the LinkedIn profile the most effective. Yeah. And that's something that you should be taking the time to do right now. Yeah. Making those social platforms as effective as you possibly can. I think you say share. Can you what's your expertise on that in regards to share, create new for your own personal LinkedIn page?
This is a huge topic that can be a whole video of its own. If you want to see that video, just comment or anything. We'll make that video. But for quick tips now to help you out, for every 2 pieces of content you share, create 1 new piece of content. Whether, that be a poll. People are really happy to interact with these polls lately. There's so many questions going on that, create a poll, put 2 or 3 answers, throw a funny answer in for the 4th too. It's completely unrelated to whatever your question may be. People like that stuff. It makes them interact more, and it makes them, gives them some joy for a quick second throughout the day while you're scrolling through your feed.
Apparently, I like giving my opinion because I like answering all those polls.
So, think of unique, different ways, and really just be a part of other people's conversations too, though.
Yes.
It doesn't always have to be something on your page to generate people to, connect with you or like and share your content, but just hop on your LinkedIn, find something that interests you that you are, knowledgeable in it, and just post a comment in there. Maybe ask a question, trying to start a conversation with the person who posted it or whoever's already in that conversation, depending on your network. Everyone's network is different.
I have for sure connected with people by just answering or engaging in that conversation. Something that I never, thought I would. So for sure. But now that everything is virtual with this, think outside the box a little bit again. People are still growing. People are still. I just actually read an article. At Home CEO says they're looking to expand to 600 new locations. What?
Yes.
That's awesome. But people are still growing. There is still that need out there. You talked about they did a poll on LinkedIn for.
Yeah, they did a survey. LinkedIn is obviously one of the highest rated platforms for B2B business, for new connections, prospecting, all that. They have been for quite a few years. Over 80% of B2B prospects come from the LinkedIn platform. I found that crazy when I read it, but I looked back and that it makes sense. They took a poll or a survey of a lot of the higher end CEOs and decision makers and acquisition managers, all those different job titles there. And it sounds bad because B2B acquisition, purchasing, new projects, new construction was surveyed at being on hold until 2020-21 with 50% of the sample size saying they are not moving forward this year. There are 5 months left in this year. You can't just stop business for 5 months waiting for these people to come back. But on the other hand, 50% of these people are starting new projects and hiring new vendors and starting new relationships through LinkedIn. And that's still, it's scary, but there are people out there doing it. We're moving forward. It could be worse. It could be, lockdown, 0 people are doing anything.
Yeah. So what I'm kind of hearing is don't get stuck in your own head.
Yes.
With the own fears of nothing's happening. This is going to be wrong for me to reach out. That's not the case.
Yeah.
And just be open. This might not be something you need right now, but if it is, I definitely want to help you in any way I potentially can. Another thing I was thinking about was that innovation or changes in how people are doing innovation and how we do different things at home. We're seeing all different companies pop up. The Connects platform that they did for the show, all these different things. So again, you never know when that opportunity is going to arise because something new has come about. So keep that in mind. And
an immediate action you could take is review your client profile. Your client profile may have changed without you realizing your ideal client is not what it used to be. So take a little bit of that extra time instead of trying to go for I'll email 100 people or message 100 people and I'm bound to get 1 or 2 hits approach. Maybe email 10 people, but take all that time you would have spent trying to, generate this outbound email for all these people into actually finding out who you're messaging to, personalizing these messages, and make sure that is still the client profile you want. And if it's not, adjust. And, maybe you'll find that there are some people out there you were missing. It gives you more of that personal approach, which I think is more important now, especially with news like 50% of people are pushing things off till 2021.
So this might be a time to just completely readjust your sales process and internally and kind of take a look internally with how you're doing things. And if there is need for adjustment there.
Yeah.
And something that we've said numerous times is all these prospects and the people that you're talking to, again, they just want that human interaction.
Yeah.
Be real, be human, make it about them. Don't sell, find out what they need. Listen more than ever.
Introduction and exploratory meetings, I think, have been more popular lately, and I really like that format.
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, let me tell you what I can do because I know that you guys use services similar to ours. I would just like to have a discussion with you and see if there's any way that we could possibly work together. If not now, maybe in the future. And if there is no way, I'd love to make this connection. So when, if I run into someone I know who could use your service, whatever that situation may be, I'm going to shoot your name out because we've met. I thought, we took the time to connect and build this relationship. And there's so many more uses than just a sale for a relationship.
So focus on the long term.
Yes, especially right now because we're in this for a little while still before we start to see any sort of normalization.
We don't need that immediate win. We need the long term.
Yes.
Long term relationships.
The best advice I can give. Focus on the long term.
Yeah.